On the occasion of the 50th anniversary of St. George Antiochian Orthodox Cathedral on Woodley Road, we would like to give you a sense of the church's past, its present status, and a look into the future through the voices of our faithful members. From a clergy perspective, I feel I can speak to the history of this church as well as anyone. My father, the Very Reverend George Shaheen, served as the Dean of St. George from 1962 to 1970, and again from 1985 to 1992. His brother, my uncle, Michael Shaheen, was Metropolitan of the Toledo Archdiocese. In August 1975, the Toledo and New York Archdiocese unified. Michael then became the auxiliary bishop to Metropolitan Philip. To understand what St. George is today and beyond, it's helpful to understand what it was like in the past. We are blessed to have in our church several members who can speak to the days of when St. George was located in North Toledo on Elm and Erie Streets.
It's part of our life, you might say. We had to go to church on Sundays. Every Sunday we went to church. Everybody walked in those days. You know, there weren't rich people, and there wasn't any cars to speak of at that time. We walked from Locust Street all the way up to Erie Street to LaGrange and to Elm, and it was right on the corner of Elm and Erie Street. When people came to the church, and it was just a little church, small church, everybody knew everybody. We had relatives in the church. See, a lot of people married and came to Toledo from Charleston, West Virginia. They finally decided that the ladies had to do something for the church and build it up. We did a lot of work and made food and stuff like that and sold it to make money for the church. I was very involved afterwards. Not being vain, but there wasn't too many of them that wanted to take charge of anything. So my sister and I took over. She was president, I was vice president. It was our duty, you might say, to do that. If we didn't do that, my mother would wonder why.
The people, used to love the church, go and have, every Sunday, fill the church. It was beautiful at that time. People from the old time, they got used to go to churches, especially in the old country. So when they came over here, they never quit, this habit, for the church. And I was one of them. The thing is, the people were so friendly, especially like me, when I came, like no one chanting in a church. Everybody love you, and everybody concerned about you and, love each other. Well, first time I was nervous, shaking when they bring the book, and give it to me to read the epistle. So that's first time, I was in the front of the people, was like shaking, the book was shaking in my hand. So after that, we used to go, invite me to sing in a church, we got used to, and almost about 36 years chanting. I like to chant because, that's meant, I'm serving the Lord. It meant that if God give you any gift, you should use it for Him, for the glory of God.
I was 24 years old. I was a new bride. I didn't know anyone. And so my mother-in-law made me join the ladies' club. And these women were older than my mother. So I had really no nothing to do, interact with them. So I joined the choir. So I started singing in the choir, and I got to know all those people. And we became, like I said, one big family. And then I started teaching Sunday school, and I would teach Sunday school with one of my kids on my hip. The church was everything that I knew. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know anybody. So my whole life revolved right around the people in the church there. And we lived in the North End. And everybody was, all the people that I knew lived right in the same area. We all walked to church together. We all had picnics together. We just visited with each other. It was just, like I said, a very happy time. At Easter time, we would get together. I mean, the whole, group of us. We'd go from house to house singing, and the bishop and the priest would go with us. And at each house, they would have a big spread for us,
Since I was born in Toledo and my father was the priest at St. George, we grew up in this church, and the church was the center of our lives. In 1970, my family unexpectedly moved to Charleston, West Virginia. Transfers to other parishes followed. Inspired by my father's ministry, I set out on my own and moved to Montreal. There I was groomed for the priesthood and served 20 years. And then in 2015, I was called back home to the Cathedral. It felt like divine providence that I would return to the place where it all began for me. At the time, St. George was going through a difficult period. A number of parishioners had left the church. The can-do spirit I recalled from my youth was missing. So I set to work to help bring St. George back to its status as the mother church of the Midwest region. Among other activities, we brought back the festival, which got parish members working together. We built up the choir, which had been decimated. Gradually, people returned to church. I think our members will agree that this is an exciting time for St. George, with unlimited possibilities for the church to grow and prosper.
Well, I'll tell you, it's always been a lovely church. But after Father Michael came, the vision he had for the church and the excitement that he brought with him really got the church rolling again. The people are so excited to be a part of everything. The church has grown. The attendance on Sundays is amazing. We have a lot of new converts, and with them they brought young children, which is wonderful because our children had all grown and we didn't have any young people. So now we have young people and they are part of the church.
Well, I came to this country 55 years ago to become a priest. But very quickly I found out I was not good enough. So I turned to chanting. But I can easily say the past 5 years has been the best I've ever seen our church in terms of attendance, in terms of organization, and most of all is this enthusiasm that I've never seen before.
As the chairman of the council, it is a pleasure to work with them because we all get along great. They listen to each other and they work off of each other, or bounce off of each other. When they thought of having the festival come back, they were 100% together. They were ready to go forward and work. And it does take a lot of work because you have to bring in the whole parish to help. We have managed the money, and through donations of the parishioners, we've been able to do renovations in the hall, in the kitchen, the iconostas. So, and we don't just do things for the church building, but we have a wonderful outreach program, And everybody takes part. You ask somebody to do something, they step up to the program, they step up to the plan, and they help.
My family is not a very strong churchgoers. Until recently, everybody loves to go to church. My sister tells me, the Sunday I don't go to church, my whole week is empty. There's just completely a different atmosphere. And it's beautiful.
Well, St. George has been a big part of my life. And my father was very involved in the church, and it stems from his father being one of the co-founders of St. George many, many, many years ago. So I guess leading from him, I've just been very involved in the church also. I left in the late 70s and then came back in the 90s, but I was here every summer. And during that time, I would come down to church and help cook with the ladies. And while I was there, I learned to cook all the recipes, and it just hit me where I took the love for the cooking. Just by helping the ladies cook, I got involved in many of the other groups, and just started helping out more and more because I just love the church. It's like my second home. We stopped the festival because there wasn't enough help and different things like that. But now we've brought the festival back, and there's more involvement in the church, and we've got a lot of new members, and they're really getting involved, and there's a lot more enthusiasm in all the different groups, which is nice to see. We do all the cooking for the ladies' dinner, which is an annual event, and we now do all the cooking for the festival, which is a large event. And a lot of the new and younger kids, the ladies, are coming to the cooking sessions, and then we are teaching them to cook. So, yep, they've become very, very involved. Oh, it's just amazing. Because like I said, this is a part of my life, and I don't want to see anything happen to it. I want it to thrive and grow, and, and the traditions to carry on.
Back in the day, my father was involved, George was involved with merging the two churches together. So I've always been involved in the church because I've always sort of been my father's right-hand guy, in our company businesses. When we did constructions, my father would always be calling me up. I have been able to take that over to the church and be able to help out with monitoring maintenance and keeping the house in good shape. Father Michael, who always remembered the festival, being here, thought it was important to activate it again, and so we all agreed to move forward. I was the chairman of the festival. Overall, in the church participation, there's been a nice increase of new members, getting current members that have not been active, getting active again. The fellowship has been very good. We've been doing a lot of functions, activities, not just festivals, but cookie walks and rummage cells, and have these annual functions. People are very excited and can't wait for each one to come each year. We're very sound. We're very fortunate to have good members at our cathedral that are stepping up and helping out as well as funding the church. We're in good shape for that. Better than we ever have been.
While it's important we remember and honor the founders of this cathedral and celebrate its recent revival, it's critical that we focus on the future. We are fortunate to have a strong youth group in the church, as well as a significant influx of new members, many of them converts from other faiths. Their passion and enthusiasm for St. George is beautiful to behold and bodes well for our future.
As president of the Teen Soyo, I love, being with my friends. We do our annual Christmas party or going downtown and serving people of Toledo at Fellowship Matters. And it means so much to me because we're all comfortable around each other. We all, have the same faith and share our Christianity, and it's just really nice to all be together. Personally, I think Teen Soyo is so important, and I think it is such a great thing for even the junior high kids, 11, 12, to come and be with the older kids and spend time doing things through the church and through our faith, whether it be just, having a movie night or, donating toys to the Ronald McDonald House, because it's really nice. In the for the future, I think Teen Soyo has definitely helped me build my faith, helped me, it's made me excited to go to church.
Being in Sunday school is important to me just because I see many more people coming every Sunday, and learning, it's like normal school, except it gets me so much closer to my faith, which is really important to build this structure this early in our life to carry on in the future. And seeing more and more kids coming is really, really special. So the festival is one function that I see a lot of people and young kids coming to, serving food, helping Teen Soyo out, helping the ice cream. I see how important it is for them to build that trust in the church also, and coming to support their church.
I love being in the choir. It makes me listen to what we're saying, because all the words, and it's like poetry, like the music is really beautiful. I love to sing. So when I'm singing it and I'm focusing on the singing qualities, I have to pay attention to the words, and the words, it's another way, it's like another prayer. It's me praying, and I really enjoy it.
I've just been an altar boy at St. George since I was very little, and I just loved every second of it. It's just such a great community, and it's just, it really is the future of the church, and all the people that are there will grow up to be just the future of the church. It kind of brings you into the faith a little more, because you understand what's going on in the service a little more than the people that are just sitting in the pews. Yeah, I would say it definitely helps if you grow up into the church. The older people come out, the new people step up, and it's a new group of people, and it expands the church's body, and it just adds more people to the fellowship. And I think that's just a great thing, because it grows the church every day with all the new people coming in.
At the Antiochian Village, it's amazing how all the other Orthodox Christians, how you keep coming back and you love it, and all the people make you feel special, and you start the day and end every day in the church. So that's also very helpful back at St. George. That's helpful for me when I pray. It makes me think about all the things I've learned at AV and all their different types of church services. When I was serving for the Metropolitan and the Patriarch, it was great. I am so grateful that I had that experience. It was wonderful. It was just remarkable that I could do that, and that I had that opportunity that the village gave me. I think it's important for young people my age to be surrounded by God in the church, so that their mind is with God. And I think that's good, so that you can lead a more religious life with God in your mind, thinking of God and wanting to go to church more, so that you can be more religious in faith.
I was called to Orthodoxy, to convert to Orthodoxy. I was baptized and raised Roman Catholic, and in 2011, serving very happily Blessed Sacrament Church here in Toledo. And one Sunday I hear the word Orthodoxy in my spirit. And I thought, okay, what's this? And I would hear it again and again, and finally I said, okay, God, what do you mean? And after a couple weeks, I said, show me Orthodoxy. So the following Sunday after Mass at Blessed Sacrament, I came here, I walked in. This is the first time I had ever been in an Orthodox church. I had no idea what to expect. Father Basil Coury was here at the time, and I just started to look around. But my first impression was, wow, this is home. And it has been a very joyful, welcoming experience here. Everybody I met here has been very joyful, welcoming, overflowing with happiness. I see something different in Orthodoxy and in my fellow parishioners here that I didn't necessarily see in the Roman Catholic churches that I was at for years. And it's got to be what Orthodoxy is, the original church. From what I've learned about Orthodoxy, a couple generations back, it was families. Syria and Lebanon, I believe, are the primary heritage of the people here. But those generations have passed on. It's important for us to grow the church, and God is reaching out and doing that. He brought me into the church. I have met some other parishioners here who came from other faith traditions who aren't necessarily Syrian or Lebanon heritage. I try to be a witness for Orthodoxy.
So more than 100 years after our Antiochian Orthodox community in Toledo was founded, and 50 years since the consecration of St. George Cathedral on Woodley Road, our church remains a shining testimony to our faith. We are committed to adhering to our traditions. We are equally committed to growing the church so that 50 years from now and beyond, St. George Cathedral will remain a vital pillar in the world of Orthodoxy in Northwest Ohio.